We're live.
Hello, everyone. Today is a very special day where you guys finally go after something that I've been hinting at for, at this point, over, 6, 8 months? It's the
a while.
boat episode. I've been
The
waiting for
long-awaited.
this for a while.
Is this the obligatory beach episode?
Oh no. A Connie in a
No, we're just
bikini.
On these episodes, we just gotta relax and have a vacation together, you know?
I'd actually love it to see you guys try to have
I
a
can
vacation.
only see that going well.
Well, just everyone's in a bikini. Doesn't matter which characters.
Even a Connie.
That's what I said. A Connie in a bikini.
Fane,
Faye.
the
cat.
the bird.
I mean, we've already seen TMOs in
Okay.
the dress, so
That's
Yeah.
true.
But before you get to do the boat stuff, there's a little bit of stuff from last session we have to deal with.
yeah, a little bit of cleanup.
A little bit of cleanup.
Oh, look at all the money around though, man. Gotta pick all that up.
Oh yeah, you can clean that up into a big bag.
Yep.
So, last time we left off, TMO smushed the insane cleric. The basilisks were fighting each other, and now that the insane cleric is dead, they've kind of stopped really acting at all. Like puppets with their strings cut.
Well, that can only mean good things.
They're still monstrosities.
Yeah, well, maybe the basilisks can find a way to cure each other.
Yes, cure
Could
themselves of
we-
the eyeball disease.
Could we smite them?
Oh, like just put them out of their misery, or
No,
oh,
I
you mean
like the
magic,
Yeah.
the
I've
anti-magic
got
rage hit?
Possibly.
That might work. I've also got a break enchantment, which maybe,
If I
and
mean,
dispel magic, which maybe.
if it's a disease, that won't help. They look pretty diseased.
Yeah,
In fact, the dragon looks pretty diseased.
it's
It
worth
is-
a shot.
Actually,
Can we,
it's actually the most heavily diseased aspect of all of this.
We could try the unconscious thing first.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't want
yeah,
to piss those off.
those might-
I will try.
Okay, so do you squelch your way over to the
The dragon, yes.
dragon?
The dragon first? Okay. Because you still hit it with the hammer, right?
No, you don't.
No,
No.
he actually
I just-
he hits its metaphysical state.
Oh,
with
the
the
spirit
hammer.
of your hammer hits the spirit of the hammer.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, it's more like he gives it a love tap, like a very gentle tap, and
I,
puts the full
swing
power
at it
into them.
with my full power, but it doesn't actually hurt.
Yeah, because it's actually a sunder attempt. So, I mean, if you had a series of feats, there are sunder feats that allow you to, like, if you successfully sunder through something, the remaining damage goes into the person
Oh damn.
that you're sundering from. But sunder builds, while really cool, are also kind of like looked down on because you are destroying the loot that you're supposed to get. Regardless. Let's see what you rolled. Sunder. Okay, did you use your strength surge on that, or do you just
Yep.
have plus 36 spell sunder normally?
I just have that normally.
Holy shit. Okay. So, the unconscious dragon, you menace over it. You hear a voice from the cage in the corner, which some of you may or may not know exists. Saying, "Please do not finish her. She is a victim in all this."
I forgot about the guy in the cage. Okay, I was gonna.
Despite all his
interrogate
rage, he's just still a guy in a cage.
I was thinking like, oh, how are we gonna figure out if this is the big dragon or if we got to bring this back to the big dragon? I was gonna ask one of the Myconids outside, but this works better.
the fungal people, you don't know what state they're in after all of this. Your hammer goes and sunders the spells that bind, and you see a black misty sludge kind of start oozing out of the wounds of this dragon as some kind of curse is lifted. But the wounds are still there, as are the extra eyes.
Oh, you did
It
something.
seems like even though the magic there was something that was causing the mutations, but now that the mutations are there, it requires something other than spell sunder to actually help. However, the voice in the cage, seeing how the dragon isn't like you didn't just splatter its brains on the floor, seems to do a small, almost inaudible sigh of relief. Hail!
Hello there.
Hail!
Hello there, Cage person.
I am not just a cage person. I do have a name, although I do understand you would not actually have gotten the opportunity to know my name unless you spoke with the Grand Dragon, the forest ruler.
Nope. The Basilisk sent us.
Oh, are we in some kind of conflict or skirmish?
Not at all. They were both looking for. They're looking for missing friends.
Ah,
Since we found
well, this one is well, that wicked woman. Oh, she is the cause of much pain and suffering in these parts. Do you know who you just slew? I only heard her death rattle. I cannot see her corpse.
Oh, she's dead.
You should ensure that she's dead, the caged man says. His voice is deep, and if you actually look into the cage, I'll give you a physical description.
Yeah, I'll look into the cage. What could go wrong?
It is a towering 12-foot tall, massive, misshapen muscle with greeny scales. It's kind of like if someone took an ogre and just slapped some dragon on it. You realize that this is actually a half dragon.
Okay.
Oh.
Half dragon, well, half forest dragon. Maybe related to the person, to the ruler of the forest, or maybe just maybe related to the dragon you just metaphysically smote.
How close is the forest ruler? I'd be eager to get this one home. She gestures to the jade dragon.
It's depending on your method of travel. If I was released from this cage and released from a curse, I might be able to lift her home in a day or two.
Oh, we can do better than that.
Yeah, what cage? Or
Top
what's
left.
curse?
Oh,
Oh, I have been cursed so that no magic may affect me, but what that witch could cast. I mean, the person who cursed me, the one who I imagine is currently dead.
Seems that way.
She told me most cruelly that the only way of freeing myself is a true lust's kiss. Says.
Right.
But there's literally no one down here that would find me attractive, he says, being a hulking half-dragon ogre.
hey, TMS, could you,
Yep.
And he goes, well, if it breaks the curse, as you approach. Do
I
you
sound
appreciate
reluctant.
strength? I have it in spades.
I end my rage and then reignite it. and then smack him in the face.
What passion?
I think it means a physical kiss, he says as you go to smash him in the face.
Ooh, 51.
The hammer like lightly taps him on the forehead, and you just hear a kind of the sound of metal ripping apart as you see just like what now that you're closer, he actually had a series of almost tendril-like tribal tattoos just kind of flee away from his skin and then kind of drip off of him. It was, I can feel magic again. I actually have a sense of touch. Wonderful. I did not realize that there'd be stronger curse breakers than what she would be doing. She seemed to have gained much power from her fell gods.
You're welcome.
So what were you doing down here? Why did she have an interest in you?
Oh, it is partially due to her insanity. It's very hard to know what exactly she wanted, but she also muttered things about experimentation to see if the Book of Draconic Revelation. He seems to do an exaggerated hand motion. You think that he's mocking the woman, but you never actually saw her do anything other than try to kill you. So it's hard to know who exactly this is mocking. And she wanted to know if my tears could cause similar effects and grow eyes on people. She kept me away from her putrid mess so that I would not be contaminated. She was surprisingly thorough in her research. Now that the curse is broken, you actually see the ogre sort of say, if you could be... she likely has a key, but I think between you and I, we might just be able to bend this cage. He looks at Tiamos.
Sure.
Okay, I'm not going to have you guys roll. With a few rounds of effort, you two kind of wrench the cage door open. It says, the curse prevented me from being strong enough to do so by myself. But with your help, I am now free. I thank you. My name is Jovian. He reaches out a gigantic kind of meaty ogre draconic claw for a handshake.
Can you write that one down?
I shake his hand.
Okay. You both of you squeeze each other's hand. What is your strength, TMOs?
My strength is 33.
Okay. Both of you have extremely strong handshakes, but it isn't obvious who has more strength. He nods approvingly and then sort of releases the handshake. Says, that is my mother, guardian. She's been undergoing the worst of the experiments. Most of the eyes on the basilisk upstairs were from her tears. I'm glad she's unconscious. She'll need a long time to heal.
Was she under mind
we-
control?
She was... I think she was actually driven insane. But...
Oh, wait. I got a spell for that.
Oh yeah.
Well, due to the constant pressures of mind magic and the fact that she could see out of, when I last counted, at least 100 eyes, it is enough to break most people's minds. Sense madness.
Gotta check for real, just to, see how she's doing.
Let's see. It doesn't allow spell resistance. Great. Hey, it's something I have to check.
Yeah.
Old enough dragons have spell resistance. because we aren't really doing a sanity damage system, what I am going to tell you is that yes, she is mad, and no, it is not a magical compulsion.
Okay. Muska says, yes, she has been driven insane in a relatively normal way.
Oh well, the method, the magic has worn off, but the damage is still there.
Right.
Do not touch her tears. Her eyes have been made into fonts of whatever horrific book of dragon experimentation that horrific cultist had.
Oh yeah, speaking of the book.
Do you know where it is?
She never left it off of her person. It should be somewhere in her squiggly mass.
Well, who wants to dive in?
I'll do it.
Okay, Tiamos puts on some gloves and kind of... are you going to take her out of the primordial ooze?
Yes.
Oh, we could slide her up onto land, dry land.
Yeah.
Okay. You slide her down, and the eyes, like, her main eyes are not moving, but the other eyes on her still are.
Ugh.
And you start searching her. She has a let's see, I think it's a pearl. No, it's a bead. Yeah. She has a necklace that has one bead on it, and what appears to be a small handy haversack that she also has. Excuse me. And inside the handy haversack, you do find a tome.
Ooh.
Uh,
You also find jars of things that are jars of eyes and different kinds of fluids, each labeled in a language that kind of gives you a small headache when you look at it. And what appears to be just a small stash of gems.
Hmm.
So,
yoink.
people can roll spellcraft checks to identify what's in here. So, people, not TMOs, who has...
Hey,
I'm just gonna let
If you
Lalar
don't
do
have
it.
a skill rank in it, you can't use it to identify stuff.
Boom.
Thank you, Chelsea. The
Oh,
prayer...
tied.
Oh, okay.
Took a nat 20, but you tied.
Both of you look at it. The bead is actually a bead of karma.
I'm wearing one of those right now, so makes sense. I know it.
Yes. The gems are valuable gems, but they have souls in them.
ooh,
They're soul gems.
Oh no.
Okay.
So, those are mostly used in kind of a dark soul trade. The extra planar soul trade. They're valuable to the right buyers. There are ways of releasing the souls from within without destroying the gem, but destroying the gem is the quickest way. The gems are valuable in and of themselves without whatever poor
Would
soul is inside.
would I know how to release the soul, and would I do that? Question mark.
It would be either something like a dispel check. I would allow it in 3 ways. One is a Tiamos Rage spell sunder that breaks the spell holding the gem there. One would be a character like you spending maybe an hour per gem using your spellcraft and knowledge of how to kind of enchant and disenchant items and being able to release it that way. Or just smashing the gem.
Well, that's the
What
bad
about
option.
break enchantment?
Let's see, break enchantment.
I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think anything rules as written would say it works.
I'm just seeing enchantments, transmutations, and curses. Soulbind. It wouldn't actually apply to Soulbind.
Okay.
So
So is this place a dragon's hoard previously? Is anyone gonna
so
miss
if
the
you
gold
do you
all
ask
over the ground?
Jovian?
Yeah.
Jovian
anyone
says,
gonna
well, this was the lair of Irilos. He kind of points towards the unconscious. Irilos.
Mm-hmm. And none of this is ours to take.
Well, I would suggest you not do so unless you want to anger the forest dragon ruler.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Do we have to worry
Now,
about this?
undoubtedly, for freeing his daughter from this curse, he would give you some reward.
Of course. We just need to get there, and hopefully quickly.
I imagine, however, most of these treasures would need to be either thoroughly cleaned or discarded. He looks at the eyeball-filled ooze that covers a lot of it.
I think we can leave that cleanup for the others, for the dragons themselves. Figure out, no?
Yes.
We have disarmed this area. And speaking of,
have you dealt with all the traps and creatures she had above?
Nope.
mostly. Kind of.
You guys broke through the door.
We broke
Like
through the
through a
side.
wall.
Yeah, we didn't deal with
You
anything.
broke through a wall.
Okay, fair.
We made renovations, and this is a better path. So
Because it's going to take like hours to clean up all this stuff, and
hours, more like weeks, or
I mean-
months.
depends on the magics we can use, but yeah. It's going to be a
Depends.
while.
Depends on how many hours I can play my drums.
Oh, that's fair. What'll they pay us if we clean up the whole place in a day?
I mean,
You
which I
don't-
think things have like a week cooldown, don't they? Turn to the calendar.
Fuck. Fucking calendar.
Tree.
it might have been a week.
It's been
No.
about 3 days.
3 days. Okay, so your drums have a four more days on the cooldown before you can.
Fine.
Hey, I'm sorry. You can just literally create a castle in 12 hours. You should be. I'm sorry that I'm harshing your mellow.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are.
You're the
I
worst.
don't imagine.
Yep, I am the worst DM.
Don't imagine we can fit that dragon into a bag of holding, right?
No.
No, we'll just drag it out with
Okay.
Akane.
Of the remaining defenders here, are any of them more powerful than you? Would you guess?
Oh,
Could you defend your mother here?
I do believe I could.
Okay.
As I do have need of food and water, but
Well, I'm pretty sure I have cantrip prepared. Let me see. Well, I've created water anyways.
I can make some ice and I can use that as water for a while.
okay. Well, give me some water and I will make do. As an ogre, I can find sustenance from almost anything, regardless of how usually my fellow ogres might use it. He kind of shakes his head and he says, I can almost eat anything, but the water is what I would have the difficulty with. So
Okay.
I'd greatly thank you for your...
I'd make a big ice thingy.
Okay.
If you put,
You just
if you
lick
make
the water
a,
off of it bit by bit.
if you put like a, if you carve a bowl into it, Moscas can literally create water into it, and then he'll have chilled water.
I mean, actually, what am I saying? I'm going to use warp wood to make a bowl
And then put the ice on top of it.
and put as much water as we need in it.
Okay. He starts drinking the water because it appears like he hasn't been given much for a
Okay.
while. He thanks you profusely and says, Are you going to send for
If you can-
reinforcements, or how
Oh,
will I
boy.
know that others will be coming down and I should not harm them?
We need to find this. Can you give us fairly detailed directions to the place?
Wait, why can't we? Sorry, back up a second. Why can't we just dig our way out of here? We dug in.
I mean,
I kind of could
I
just
don't
make the
think-
hole bigger.
okay, that's fair.
We could just
We
leave.
just carry them the rest of the way. Yeah, okay,
Right.
that works.
And then they wouldn't have to carry an unconscious, diseased mother through the wilderness. That would be probably dangerous.
Yeah, okay. Just as long as they remember this place is still dangerous, and they'll clear it out, get back what scatters, all that stuff.
He gives you a fairly good description of how to get to the domain of
Well, never mind. We're taking you
Forest
there
Dragon
anyways.
Yep.
Kodatha. Okay, so
Can I start digging?
She's just gonna. We'll go
Connor,
back
you
up.
dig.
We'll go back up. I'll.
he marvels at how strong Akane is just for what Akane can
I
lift.
don't think you can fly up that narrow
No.
hole with the
I'll.
Kane,
Musgus will get someone to carry him up who has flight.
but we
and-
can't carry the dragon with
No. Wait. So Musgus will go with someone up through the tunnel, and then pop Akane out, and then Akane will dig back down, and then we'll go back up.
Okay,
Because the hole's too small,
Alright.
right?
that's a plan. Yeah.
The hole is too small
so
for
we'll just make
Akane
it bigger.
to actually fly up.
Right. So we'll just make it big enough until she can go through.
Okay.
We also have a bunch of ropes and shit, so.
All right.
We'll be fine.
Okay, so you guys start going into. Oh, come on. Trying to get my Chrome tab to play nice. Okay, now that it is playing nicely. You guys start excavating a hole. You realize that, well, this tree inside is actually kind of rotten from, well, the hole that
Yeah.
was made. And so it's relatively easy for Akane's talons to kind of just gouge out parts. But if effectively you had a bunch of people helping, things go relatively quickly. I would have Onan roll a knowledge engineering check to make sure that
Oh boy.
while making the tunnel bigger, you aren't like going to make it collapse in on you guys.
I get to use this skill. Oh boy. Oh boy. Please don't be terrible. Okay.
That's pretty
we're
good.
I mean, you're trying to just make an existing hole bigger. It's not the most complex thing you've ever done.
Mhm.
And so you end up going, and it takes probably about 2 hours worth of effort, even with how supernaturally strong your gang of people is.
How early did we get here, anyways?
Like for the day,
Yeah.
you guys kind of flew.
We had
I
to-
would say you got here at noonish.
and then there was
Nice.
a
So now
debacle.
it's like 3. Now it's like 3 p.m.
How long did it take to get Onan?
I mean, that was part of getting here, right?
Yes, because
Oh,
Onan
here.
did the
Oh.
scouting. So it's like
Very
3
well thought
p.m. right now. You've carved a large enough hole that Akane can kind of pull everyone up. You can pull the dragon up. What you end up actually doing is kind of creating a harness of ropes and kind of putting the dragon like kind of the head and tail vertical. So you can kind of just drag them up.
Mm.
But it works. You guys get to the top and the basilisks are just kind of listless, not do anything. The fungal people have left. And
Okay.
you go through the side of the hole. You find that there's a reason why the fungal people have left. When you look on the entrance, there is a swarm of flying basilisks.
Oh shit.
The cavalry's here.
And you see a bunch of fungal people made stone. And you see a particularly large basilisk sort of set down, and all the other basilisks kind of scurry away from them. He sees you bring the dragon outside. And you just hear a really big rumble. Oi! Who are you? Why are you taking that dragon? The voice kind of rumbles through the desert, not the desert, the forest, and the trees. The trees grow silent as like the birds stop chattering and whatnot, because this voice just carries.
And then
This basilisk is at least 30 feet long.
Onan almost starts speaking, then stops for a second and mutters under, God damn, we need a name for our group. Like,
No,
we are...
it's fine.
The 6 supports. Because if you're supporting the 4 pillars,
Oh god, that's awful.
we're part of the six cantilevers.
Six stack.
We're six
Six.
stacking.
Stack.
okay. But he says, "Who are you? Why are you taking that dragon? If you don't have a good reason, I am going to have to relieve you of that dragon."
First, take a look at the dragon.
It takes a look, and then it looks back at you. You realize that if you're like much closer, you might that look could kill. And it says,
Oh, right.
"Well, of course, I see it is a forest dragon, and while I have had some disagreements with the forest dragon clan, I can't have outsiders
No,
going
no.
around rummaging dragons."
No, Sir Basilisk. Look closely at the body of the dragon.
It is cursed, like most of the rest of what is in this tree.
Right. We are saving this dragon.
Oh, you still haven't identified yourselves as to why you are here. Now, thank you for telling me you're saving the dragon. And you just see one of the basilisks kind of skitter up to it and just sort of whisper to it. You realize it's the ambassador.
Oh.
And it goes, "Ah, you're from the court. Ah, and you're here to see what happened to my basilisks. What happened in there? I can't fit in the door yet."
Bad things.
Mad
That's-
science.
Bad magic
Do you
science.
even know the name of whoever did this?
Weird
Uh,
science.
Muscus looks
Nope,
to
but she's
Jovian.
dead.
Jovian goes, "It's Zoo, an insane cultist of some elder god." And he goes, "Ah, you're the bastard child."
By the way, we should take her corpse. I forgot to mention.
Okay, you guys took her corpse. Did you put it into a separate bag of holding or
Yes.
something than the rest of what you have? Be it like
I assume we probably just shaped iced it, like
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
just put it
so that
into
it wasn't be terrible.
We have so many things made of ice in our bags, and we have to like
Yeah.
really look at them closely to like, what was that? Oh, that's a body.
Oh, that's a cultist body. Yeah, we aren't unfreezing that yet.
We just assumed that we chiseled like numbers or something.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Chisel in what it is. Dead dove. Do not eat.
He goes, so I assume you were you a prisoner or were you helping this person? The ogre goes, I might be a bastard's bastard, but I'm not going to let you disparage my honor. I was captured and trying to kill Hitsu, yeah. And then the incredibly large basilisk does a belly laugh that reverberates through. You have all of her fire, even if you want a true dragon. Now, do you know what has happened to my citizens in there?
Some are dead. Some are. I don't know if they're insane, but they're also cursed.
He says, I expected as such when we encountered the first few that were mucked up, he said. Also, far too many eyes. A proper basilisk has 6, and only 6. These ones have at least 24 more than they should. It is disgusting to see such a beautiful form tarnished. But I digress. He turns to you and says, so, how many of my citizens do you believe are still alive in this tree? Even if they might be insane.
At least 3.
He kind of thinks about it, he shrugs and says, better to save 3 than none.
Actually, no, 4. One's made of ice.
Oh yeah.
Has its flesh been turned to ice,
Mm.
or is it just encased?
It's encased.
Just-
It's alive.
Okay, I did not know if you had an ice basilisk with you. he chuckles, and like
Basilisk
some of
humor.
his followers look at him, and he's like, "They exist."
I would say that he's pretty chill for a basilisk.
He he did not hear that because his own laugh was too loud.
Laura sort of just looks at her feet.
No, we heard that. It's okay.
Mozga's heard
Now.
everything.
You know what? He actually starts flying towards you, and you realize that he's like, as he flies towards you, he has like 2 attendant basilisks who are still larger than you, but small in comparison to him. Like, fly up to his eyes and put like lenses on, like the glasses, so his 6 eyes are not directly exposed to you. And as he approaches, he then goes, I have an idea. You see, I've been trying to become greater friends with the dragons ever since, troubles in the capital. But I realize that right now, I can have my subjects and clansmen go into the tree, and then I can help deliver this dragon to my dear Forest King friend. And so it would be good for me if you allowed me to deliver his daughter to him.
Well,
I will give you full credit as credit is due, but also insert my own bit of heroism in there.
I mean, we'd be happy
What
to.
say you?
I'll give you an opportunity for heroism and honor. Inside this area, inside this tree, the entire horde of this dragon is still there. If you make sure not a penny is lost, well, that would be quite the feat of honor.
You think a basilisk does not care for gold? Basilisk cares for more and increasingly exotic sources of food and statues. But
Statues
I
is
do
great.
understand. I see that you want to have your own bit of honor. He he almost moves to try to do like a shoulder slap and then stops himself, realizing that would be like an actual attack rather than like a friendly gesture. It's almost like this basilisk doesn't really realize how big it is in comparison to everything else. And he goes, well. I will at least send you with an honor guard so that...
Well, wait, let me
dear.
I just need a moment to talk with the group. And Muscus
You must
shuffles
understand, Kodad, if you come in with a dazzling honor guard of multi-hued basilisks at your flanks, you'll be not troubled by anything in the forest. I guarantee that.
Muscus,
that's good.
Muscus nods and continues to shuffle people to the side. And Muscus says, although I don't care for others taking credit, we could use the debt of a basilisk in the future.
We
Yeah.
could use the debt of that dragon.
No, we can do both.
God.
As he said, he's not taking full credit. He's just going to say he helped, which means he owes us. It's better to just let him have his moment. And plus, better relations for those two people isn't a bad thing.
That's true, but I want to talk to the Jade Dragon.
Sure, yeah. No one's going
Like,
to
he
stop
can
you.
come.
Yeah, no one's
He
going to
can
stop
come.
you. That's fine. We'll talk to the dragon.
Okay, then yeah.
All right. Everyone else okay with that?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm-
Oh, Alexander almost said
Cut
something.
out there.
I'm Ood.
That's all we heard.
So Muscus
Okay.
withdraws and looks back to the basilisk man. Large basilisk.
Yeah, he's like put size categories. He is probably large gargantuan, low colossal.
Oh, that's a big one.
You have never seen a basilisk so big.
I think we've reconsidered. I think we would actually allow you to come with us with your own bit of heroism.
Oh, you allow me! Oh, you impudent little twerps. He sort of you can tell he actually I don't know. Does the character know if a basilisk's happy or actually just pretending to be?
Well, if anyone
But-
could tell.
Roll sense motive on the basilisk king.
Plus...
Okay, you're good. You're good. Fuck. Okay.
What?
Sorry, that's what Alexandra said
Oh.
in the chat.
Yeah, Alexander, you
so
know it.
You tell that the basilisk realizes that while he might be king here, you guys have power in the capital that he does not, and he wants. You realize that he's trying to remind you to be respectful while in his realm, while trying not to be overbearing about it. He's actually trying to be diplomatic, which is
Oh.
really a rarity amongst basilisk kind, since their usual modus operandi is to make people statues and then eat them.
Oh, but I
All right.
meant no disrespect. Please join us.
Ah, good. he just yells. He growls something in what you can only presume is primordial basilisk.
Faint.
And the cat-based translation comes out to clear the tree, beware the ooze, do not let a scent of that horde be taken. If anyone does, I shall visit 1,000 pains upon them. Fane goes into a greater description of what those pains might be in basilisk. Like, he's actually referring to a basilisk folklore thing that cultural context would it just doesn't really translate. But
All right.
he then flies off with you.
Just by himself after all that.
He has like a flight of 12 basilisks flanking him. But it's kind of like watching a hippo fly with a bunch of like those little birds that clean them out. Like you see the smaller basilisks like intercept birds before they get anywhere near him. And like they're rather protective. But he flies kind of along the side of you. He starts flying above the canopy. Because anywhere he flies with the canopy, he just breaks the canopy. So, he says, it should be roughly 2 hours to fly to where we can drop that poor creature off. So, he says, what is happening in the greater... he starts making small talk.
Does the Lara want
we're
to
at war with
roll
the
for
ocean.
small talk?
And don't trust the Huruhani. And anything else?
You can roll diplomacy if you want to make this abstract.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I do. I'm gonna reroll as well. Hey, it's not bad.
Okay. So you guys are actually rather charming when you put your mind to it. And the Basilisk King, actually, his attitude towards you
Alex
improves.
Oh, good.
It goes from kind of indifferent to friendly. As you, actually, in some ways, you think he might be helpful if you asked him for a favor in the future. But you fly over, and as you fly over with this, like, at the end of the second hour, the king says, we're about to reach a grand tree with a grand hoard inside. Please, do not be frightened by the way I greet the forest king. It is merely ritual.
This is only going to go good.
So he flies, and you see his escort kind of peel off of him and then form around you. And as he flies, he lets out a bellow that can only mean challenge. Like a primal, like, I am the biggest thing. And then rising from the forest, like an arrow shot from the ground, is a massive imperial forest dragon that they immediately just clash in the air, and they seem to make passes at each other. The trees around kind of shift, and you actually have to fly bank and fly a little bit farther away for the clashing of these titans to not actually affect your flight. After about a minute of this, they're locked in a grapple, plummeting towards the earth, and then they just kind of break off, swoop off, and kind of meet and just start growling at each other in what you presume is a primordial basilisk tongue. And Fane translates as small talk. And then he finally turned the dragon. Turned Koldatha, a dragon who can only be Koldatha, turns towards you and then looks at your cargo, and then looks at the half-ogre also kind of dangling off of Akane. And sort of swoops down to you and says, I understand that you have brought my daughter, most injured, from her hoard to here. Thank you. I thank you for the service. I feared that I had not heard from her in a small while, but a year or two of not communication, of no communication, is no strange thing for a dragon. Please, I invite you to come down. I'll have attendants bring my daughter to a safe place. The dragon kind of the Basilisk King and the dragon kind of form almost an escort as you guys fly down to where the Imperial Forest Dragon King points. And it's a small landing. It's like a hole made in the side of a giant tree. As you land, the Basilisk King kind of does a lap around because it's not actually big enough for Akane, this dragon, and and the two big guys to actually go in with you.
All these big beasts.
After clearing some space, the Basilisk King lands as well. It's a flurry of activity as, like, you see like a team of about 50 kobolds kind of run up to your rigging, start undoing the rigging, and then like putting their own and sort of lift her and start moving her away on a hastily assembled stretcher. And says, I understand that Jovian speaks in Draconic to Koldath, and he said, translated. He says, I understand. Greetings, father. Well, sorry, he says, greetings, grandfather. And Kodatha looks at him and goes, greeting, son of my daughter. They kind of share an awkward pause. And then Jovian proceeds to explain what happened, what you guys did, that you guys deliberately did not kill her. And in fact, saved her from a curse. Jovian is being a big advocate for you guys.
Oh, well, that's nice.
He explains the state of the horde and that the person who's responsible for this was killed by your hands.
Oh, we take out the ice block when we finally get to that translation part. It's like,
Okay.
oh, here's the corpse, all nice and safe.
He takes a look at the ice block, stares, kind of picks it up, and starts turning it around his hand, and then gently places it down, and goes and speaks in Imperial Common to you as a courtesy. Says, thank you for bringing the perpetrator to justice, even though I would have preferred her to be alive to extract more information. The dead can speak, but there are now more limited avenues to find out if this creature was working alone or in concert with others. I do, however, thank you for bringing the forest justice to her. He seems to think about it and then says, for your efforts in this, I will give you a reward, especially since I have been told that you did not touch the hoard that was beneath your feet.
Mhm.
For showing restraint and bringing my daughter back alive, I shall give each of you 5,000 gold.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay.
He's sort of like a team of green-scaled kobolds at that sort of burst into action. And then about 2 minutes later, you see them come by dragging bags that are almost as big as them towards you. He goes, I would invite you for a feast if you would be so willing. I understand that a feast between a Basilisk King and an Imperial Forest Dragon and some very high and important court officials would be proper protocol, but I do not know if your mission requires you to go elsewhere.
I think we could stay for some pleasantries. If everyone
We've
else
got
is...
a little bit of time. Yeah.
We got like what, tonight, and then we gotta go.
I mean, I've got 3 teleports today that we're gonna get through, and
Okay.
also I want to confirm some things with at Hicks Zoo,
well
because that's
then-
one of our stops.
Well, then
But-
we'll have a real quick dinner, and then we'll...
Okay. I also need to talk to the Jade Dragon.
Because we gotta be at, what, the bottom of the Empire by tonight?
Pretty much.
God, you guys are so much like businessmen. Okay, so can we fit in a meeting before I have to go on the airplane to New York?
Oh, if I catch the second flight, I can do this first.
A feast
Sometimes
there
they-
shall be then. The Imperial Dragon bellows, and we see another group of kobolds who have been waiting at the side just scatter. You imagine that those are messengers.
All right.
It is now like 5:30, 6 p.m. The feast actually gets ready at 8. You guys
Okay.
can speak with the Forest Dragon now, if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
He
if-
brings you to a more private audience chamber.
Sure.
He
what's the
actually
dragon's
he
name?
actually turns into a humanoid form. to
What's the
speak.
dragon's name and full titles, if we have that?
A forest dragon. Okay. So his species. I've put his species first. Okay, so this is his full title. So King Kodatha, the champion of the green.
Okay. I'm going to say King Koldatha, champion of the green. I assume you have noticed on my companions they wear the scales of the pillars.
It is hard not to notice that you are so close to being so powerful.
Wow, harsh.
Backhanded compliment.
I love it. Okay.
The
Oh,
the
nonsense.
pillars and the influence is felt far and wide, and the agents seem to only grow in number and power. As he looks at you with a calculating eye.
And then says, "You match their greatness," and I. would
He
love-
he gives like a wan smile as you actually say that. Like, come on.
And as the pillar that I would have chosen is, well, it wouldn't work out. I would ask if I could have a scale, a teardrop, and a drop of blood from you.
Ah. This
I
is
don't ask for
related
these
to
things.
the armor of the Dragon Emperor. I have
Mhm.
heard of such things. Is that not the ritual related to the ritual which caused my daughter to be in such a sorry state?
They can be used for evil, as we've seen a few times now, Runavag and this tree, but in the right hands, as we have shown, these are good books.
I mean,
These are
look
good
at this
rituals.
bird.
Look at this bird.
Matsu kind of says that under his breath just a little bit. Because Akane is kind of nearby. Because if there's room enough for a dragon, there's room enough for a bird.
Well, he's human form, but yeah.
So you would ask to become kith and kin with me. I understand if I understand the nature of the ritual correctly.
Yes.
Hmm.
I don't ask for a relation with you besides what we have now. I don't ask for guidance from entering. I don't want these for power. I don't want these for their value. But I must become a dragon for a more personal goal.
Huh. Okay. So, I was just wondering, Frosty,
Mm-hmm.
can you explain to the class
Oh, I'll explain to the class. Okay.
outside, like meta-wise?
So normally Onan would have like immediately gone for the anvil scales because the anvil is like her hero. But actually Ian like mentioned this before where that's not the only relation you could have with one of these pillars, and I was like, oh yeah. And so I think Onan has fallen in love with the anvil. And so she doesn't want to be like daughter of the anvil, but she wants to
God
be
damn it! Really?
Oh.
God,
but she
really?
wants to be dragon like a dragon so that she is
Fucking-
on the same level. I know, right? It's adorable. And the entire thing should take place entirely off camera, because
better
we
fucking
don't need
do
a long
that.
plot.
I'll turn this stream around, Frosty. You melt my cold heart, says Alexandra.
Oh, okay, so, you're doing this to become a dragon.
So did Mosgus like learn all of that?
So,
with that
so
sense-
Moscus, no, so has Onan said anything about this to anyone here?
I don't think she said anything to anyone. I think between her hemming and hawing about like the dragon scale to take and her current confession and what she said about not taking the one she would prefer, and I think people with good sense motive would sort of figure it out, especially with all the time she spent with the anvil the last 5-day break.
Okay.
Oh, Mosgus would probably notice little looks and stares at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, the dragon looks at you. Let's see, what's its sense motive? / GM roll. It takes a look at you. And it goes, so you believe that becoming one of my kin, that what you have done for me is worthy of such gifts. It seems to be staring at you. It's not saying this out of malice, but it seems to be searching for a response.
I will happily return the gold given if that is in any way comparable to the gifts that I ask. And consider we have done 3 things for you, so these 3 objects seem right. We have given you your revenge. I could reincarnate that statue for you if you so desire. That
They would
person.
have to be willing to come back. And I do not believe they would.
not knowing the
But,
circumstances, certainly.
It seems to think about it. And it
If I take your
goes,
gold, we
it
got your
goes,
daughter back. 3 gifts for 3 gifts.
roll a diplomacy check.
Okay, I'm not bad at that. Oh boy.
No.
I wish I didn't already use my, what's it called?
Hmm.
Plus 11.
I think Mosgus is actually going to do a supportive. Now, knowing
Oh boy.
knowing what he actually knows, he's going to do a supportive Diplo. And I'm going to reroll.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say the dragon says it's sort of like it's currently in human form to talk with you. And then it sort of it nods and it says, give me a sack of gold.
I do.
And he opens it and then proceeds to like he takes out from like he gets a few people. he like claps, and then like a cobalt pretty much melds out of the wall. And he goes, 3 vials. And as the cobalt runs off to get those, he goes, I do believe that any race trying to become more like a dragon is an admirable goal. And it would be good to have connection beyond this forest. I welcome you into my family, O nun of the Iron Lotus.
Awesome.
Now
Now I have to redraw her again.
Oh no.
Well, let's bring up my Imperial Dragons.
And this dragon makes you able to turn into a tree. That's it. You didn't.
Dragon's just pretty as all.
You can now use razor leaf.
Yeah.
Once a day. That's it.
Okay, so what this actually will mean to you is that he gives you a drop of blood, which gives you a breath weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that I've written down the rules for that. Let's see,
Armor the
did I-
Dragon for it's a breath weapon, 1 per day for character level.
Oh, so
D6
for
Sonic.
Shakti, that is the Sonic. For Forest Dragons, that is,
Like piercing?
yeah, piercing.
Awesome.
So gives. Okay, actually. And so yours would actually be a 30-foot cone. So, oh none. Once a day. Care level D6. Piercing. How the? Sometimes I wonder how to spell piercing. But then I look and I know how to spell it.
Not before E, except after whatever.
Except in every single case.
So, this dragon is not actually a great worm.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
That's why he's not. He's old, but he's powerful, but he's not that old. So
Okay.
it's going to give you 5 natural armor
All right.
instead of 6, and it's going to give you 10 damage resistance to piercing
Okay.
because.
Does that stack with my iron skin or not?
Probably
yes.
not until the full form, right?
Yeah, not until the full form, which you guys are actually pretty close to.
Yeah, I'm 1 away from, but I'll need to.
And now it's time for me to reveal what that book does. The
Oh, boy.
eyes. So, Eyes of the Dragon gives. Ba-ba. Oh, come now. It gives you 100-foot dark vision,
Wow.
Okay.
and it gives you 50-foot blind sense.
Nice.
That's
Damn.
fucking incredible. Like, holy shit.
Okay.
It literally gives you. Oh, also it allows you to smell gold.
Oh, alright.
Gives you scent for precious metals. So Eyes of the Dragon are actually really good.
Yeah.
Okay,
fucking Christ.
dang. And I've got the Form of the Dragon 2. Oh boy.
I need to get Akane some more pieces. That dark
Yeah.
vision's important. Actually, no, I could have blindfolded her for this whole thing.
Because blind sense, it's not blind sight.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But-
That sense.
Still. Doesn't it reduce the 50% mischance to like 25 or something, or no?
Creature does not need to make perception checks to pinpoint a location of creature within its range, provided as a line of effect to the creature. An opponent the creature cannot see still has total concealment of the creature,
Oh, okay.
but okay, so effectively allows you to just know where it is. You still get the 50% mischance, but you know which square.
Well, that's still good
Okay,
against
that's not
if
bad.
anyone's invisible.
You don't have to roll a perception check to know where
Yeah,
something
that's
is.
still really good.
Mhm. And sort of as you leave, he calls. He just brings in Onun. He just asks Onun to stay slightly, and he goes, "I do not know exactly why you want to be a dragon, other than the fact that dragons are glorious. But now that you are part of my family, we will be in contact." It smiles.
Ominous. I like it.
Continue
Well.
doing what you do, because you do it quite well.
There is a fourth set of the books, and I'm sure we'll be in contact once I have access to that.
Now, I don't actually think that there is a form of the dragon that deals with
Imperial dragons?
Imperial dragons.
Oh boy. I've made everything difficult. Let me...
Actually, no, it's form of the exotic dragon.
Oh.
okay.
Because it deals with forest dragon. It's piercing, and if you do it, you actually gain a burrow speed.
Oh shit, cool.
Dig, dig, dig.
So, dig, 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 dig. Well, I've now used half of the session on non-boat related things,
Yep. All right.
but you guys
Gonna
kind
have
of...
our feast.
We'll have our feast. Well, I think we can hand wave the whole feast unless there's something specific.
Yeah, we can hand wave the whole feast. It's just, it is strange to see like a feast hall that is big enough to support both a like this gigantic basilisk and ancient dragon, and with a bunch of smaller dragons and kobolds bringing out platters
Oh
of
man,
stuff.
Akane can be at the table for once.
Yeah, Akane is a welcome addition because she's pretty much half dragon.
Yeah.
Like occasionally a dragon tries to speak to her, but she understands, but she can't actually.
She
speak
does
back.
the bird eye head twitch at him a little bit. And then the dragon's like, "Oh, that's just a bird with dragon skin. I'm gonna walk away."
To be fair, Akane understands the language, even if she
Yeah.
doesn't.
She just can't communicate.
She just can't really communicate. So, the hour approaches. It's like 10 p.m. What are you gonna do?
Teleport.
Let's teleport.
Okay.
I gotta roll them dice, right?
I don't know if I should be GM rolling or have you roll.
Whichever. We're going
It's
to
fun when he rolls,
first
but
stop.
'cause then
First
it's his
stop,
fault.
Balnorn.
Okay.
Oh, can we
I don't
send?
think we actually need to talk to her or anything.
Oh, we don't.
I don't think so.
Then why are we going there?
Because
It's a
jumping point.
convenient pit
Oh,
stop.
yeah, fair.
We're familiar with it.
She's like, "Hey, what?" And then we're gone again.
Then after that, Hikzu. And it's too late for me to actually go and ask more questions from these people about the dangerous island. So then we're going to take a 75% chance of landing on that island. And if not, we'll get on
Laura
the
can try
bird,
again.
fly around for the night,
Yeah,
and try again. Or Lalara has teleports.
and then we should probably prepare less teleports and more useful spells.
Yes.
for the next day.
That'll work.
Yes. You teleport
Awesome.
just as the booze druid is about to say, "Hey, I have a new concoction." You teleport away.
Well, you could
Oh,
actually talk to the anvil about something, like see if she got her pearl back and all that,
I think we're moving too fast.
or if she's willing to
I
loan
think
it
we're
out,
moving
but-
way too fast for that.
Yeah.
he stopped by. Halt! What are you doing? Adventurers.
Now let's see with this island what it's got in store.
Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Damn it, I had the correct thing for this. Ah,
I'm just gonna grab a drink while you
Okay.
set up.
Go for it.
as you teleport in, it is a storm. The wind is blowing, the rain is coming down sideways, but it isn't actually touching you. You guys, or no, sorry. It is touching you. You guys teleport right beside an island. You realize in the dark, because you've now teleported at like 10 p.m., that there seems to be a dome where the wind and water's kind of just blowing around. That is this island. But you teleported just outside of the island. There's lightning, there's rain. I do believe that Lilar is the only one that can see through it clearly because of storm sight. Oh, no, okay, that just cuts out right there. I had a different one that I wanted to do, but too many of my songs start with D. There's a lot of sound effects I have to keep track of, okay?
Okay.
There. Okay. You teleport and you are immediately drenched. The winds are raucous, but Akane is strong enough to stay airborne. You notice a desert island beneath you. It goes off into the dark distance, only occasionally illuminated through a lightning strike. I guess I'd have people roll perception checks.
Boom.
God damn it.
Tiamos notices in the dark that there is a strange, on the coast, there's a strange ship. It has no sails. It's made of metal. It gleams when lightning strikes. And it's currently docked. Mozgus notices that where all the rain is not falling, there is a village heavily obscured under the sort of dome of storm. And you see it appears like it's a normal thatch village, except it has a tower at the far edge of it that seems to be made of pure obsidian. So you see the island before you, and you see the dome. You are currently caught in a storm, and there's a dome of storm surrounding this village, not really allowing you to go too much deeper.
Wait, so is that the metal boat that's docked?
It appears to be.
Okay. I thought I was docking tomorrow.
Huh.
Well,
Your
I guess
intel
the
was
staff is wrong, but not wrong enough.
Time zones.
Oh, shit.
Uh,
I
So wait.
did do that when we were in the capital. Okay, fair.
there's a storm. There's a dome storm preventing us from getting to the village.
You're currently beyond it. You don't know if it will actually prevent you, but you didn't teleport inside the dome.
Do we want to go to everybody? Do we want to go to the village, or do we want to go straight to the boat?
We should go to the village. One of my divinations told me, well, it seems pretty obvious that if they're going after this pearl that stops outsider invasions, they might have a pretty good reason for getting the pearl. So I don't think we want to make an enemy with this group. I think we might even want to help them.
If that also stops invasions, we do have the Rouhani invasion. So it depends on which one is more.
Just like literally interplanar outsider invasions. I
Oh,
believe.
that kind of invasion. Oh, okay.
Demon armies, I think.
I mean,
I mean,
Rouhan,
it's
Rouhan's kind of a
ambiguous.
demon.
It's
when you
all
think about
gone
it.
to legend.
All right, I suppose we can just go to the village then.
Is there a door we can knock on this storm wall?
Oh, we
it
could force
seems
our
like
way
it's a-
through. I have.
As you approach it, you can roll a spellcraft check.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
try to
abstain.
understand the thing you're about to go through before you just go through it.
It's gonna be like a prismatic wall that's different looking. Because Ian
That
really
would be
hates
fucking
us.
nasty. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I think I'm waiting for the big dick spellcraft check from Lalara. The one that'll likely put the rest of yours to shame. Yeah, she
Yep.
is kind of an
Yep.
incaster that specializes in it. Okay.
Yep.
This is a strange magical phenomena, Lalara. You know that this kind of dome almost reminds you of, like, it's like the rain and storm can't actually get through that dome. It's more like it's hitting a solid object. But it is transparent. You realize through an obscure series of revelations, books you've read, and general magical knowledge that this almost appears to be like the boundary of either a very powerful ward, something that's been set up, or it's almost like a demi-plane, like the boundaries of one, where the weather inside of the dome can be completely divorced and different from the weather outside of it. But seeing the ship in there, it likely doesn't stop living creatures from going into it.
So we won't get hurt by passing into it?
You won't likely get hurt, but you might want to try going through it near ground level in case something does go wrong.
Okay. I communicate this with the party.
Okay.
Hey, Tiamos, you want to fly through real quick?
Sure.
So Tiamos, did you choose the almost human?
Yeah.
Okay. You passed through with no consequence, other than when you
Oh,
pass through, it is a sunny day.
I know what this is.
We'll find out.
Something like the weather outside, you can't even passing through. It's almost like the weather outside doesn't exist. It's just a sunny day. You know that's wrong because it's like near midnight and rainy on the outside.
Interesting.
Do you try to fly back from whence you came?
I try to stick my hand back through.
You encounter nothing. It doesn't go outside.
Oh, sweet.
Is his hand stopped, or is he just not able to?
No, his hand like almost like starts going, and then you see a very weird phenomena where your hand seems to be coming like back in, but beside your face.
Ooh.
Thinking with portals.
You guys see Tiamos try to poke his hand out, and it doesn't come out of the dome.
Mozgus gestures to go down. Now we're gonna take this more seriously.
I can't see him, right?
Yeah. Tiamos doesn't give any indication that he saw you.
Oh, he can't even see us. Shit.
Our metaphysical hat is a metaphorical hat is over the fence at this point. I think we just gotta go.
I like motion that it's fine.
All right, let's go through.
You guys go through. As you try to go through, Fane gives an uncomfortable yowl.
Oh no.
As you try to go through the barrier, and as you go through the barrier, Fane is on the outside.
No, no.
You cannot
Wait,
see
wait,
Fane
can't-
anymore. Yep.
Why can't he come in?
There is a reason. He isn't dead. He's not gonna die.
He's my kitty.
I know, but he also happens to be an outsider.
Oh
What?
shit, that's right.
Oh, what?
Your cat is a type of angel.
Oh boy.
Aren't I also sort of angelic? I'm
But
confused.
you're native to this plane of existence. You were born here. You're mostly mortal. It's uncomfortable going through the barrier for you, but Fane cannot enter.
Okay.
But my bird can enter, right? We're not just all gonna fucking fall. My bird's
Your
native.
your bird is You guys are now mostly dragon, not outsider.
Okay.
So,
Gotta get Fane some scales. It would be a great use.
it is a sunny day. I can stop the sound effects now. It is a sunny day, and you see the metal ship gleaming by the dock, and you see the village far below. You do not see the storm outside anymore. Laura, however, you do feel the link you have to Fane. You know that he is not that far away, but he is still a bit too far. It's like an invisible door has shut and you guys cannot meet.
So if you just kept going that direction, you just continue on in this plane?
If you try to, are you going to try to experiment?
Experiment a little bit.
Okay. It appears like once you get inside the dome, if you try to get out of the dome, it just loops you back in.
Interesting. Also, if this is protecting from outsiders, is this dome the effect of the pearl?
Could be.
Could be.
Probably is.
I figured we were going jungle diving again, but
No.
I gotta... Look, they haven't prepared anything yet. Woohoo!
So are you guys going to like spend 2 hours resting on the bird, or are you going to?
We can. Well, actually, we could
should-
do that.
Investigate a little bit more first.
So, as you're investigating, I need some. Mosgus, roll a perception check. You're the most likely to notice.
Nailed it.
You see a small bag of holding drop from the sky.
That's weird.
About where you were coming from.
Let's go check it out.
You go to it and you realize it's actually Lalar was missing a bag of holding, and as it opens, Fane is inside.
Yay!
Oh,
Fane is intelligent and experimented with putting himself into a bag of holding and then kind of launching it.
So if I get the momentum right, I'll be in the bag as it's moving, and then hopefully they'll
Yeah.
open it before I fucking suffocate.
You can open a bag of holding from the inside.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Okay.
good.
Also, outsiders don't need to breathe.
Oh,
Oh,
that's actually really useful.
Well, some don't. But Fane can also turn into mist that doesn't need to breathe. So, you guys, so it appears like this barrier has kind of made this place kind of an island unto itself. So, are you gonna find just land and find a place to rest? Or are you gonna just keep flying above and
Let's
like
go
rest
talk to the
while
locals.
they fly? Or are you gonna talk with the locals?
Yeah, talk to locals.
Does anyone need to rest though? Like for spells and whatnot?
I don't know what to prepare yet, so if we can do anything non-combat first, that'd be
Yeah, but
good.
we don't
Also-
necessarily.
You
Get
you
that
don't know if
choice.
it's gonna become combat.
Yeah, I
These
guess.
people could be hostile for all we know. They've been trapped
mean-
here, right?
Yep. I've still got a disintegrate and a wall of fire and a few other things. We're good.
Oh,
And my
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna heal up.
Damaged.
At some point, you guys got another.
I'm going to say between the forest dragon and the banquet
Oh,
and
yeah.
everything, all of you are full healed.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. We can go for a quick talk with the locals.
Okay, so you start going down to the village. Let me throw you guys onto the map I prepared. Because I actually did prepare this. Not knowing if you're gonna go straight for the ship or for and do.
Do I already have the stuff ritualed onto me, or is that gonna be?
Well,
During the rest, or some
we'll
other
do
day?
that. We'll do that. I assume not yet.
Okay.
You guys kind of need some downtime to do ritual. A, learn a new ritual, and B, do rituals.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you start flying down a bit, and you realize that. Are you guys on the right map? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh, those are spooky knot people we're looking at. All these.
So you look down and you see what appears to be a pirate crew, some sailors. You don't really know, but they seem to have holed up in a tower above, like a tower that seems to be the mill. It has a water wheel, a river that you notice is not actually flowing. It's you
Spooky.
see you see the movement of it flowing, but it's like it's been stuck in time. Like someone took a picture of flowing water. You
Yeah,
notice
is this going to be an island where everything resets every few hours, like some sort of Majora's Mask situation?
Or perhaps a Groundhog's Day.
you're gonna have to see.
Okay, that's
You know,
promising.
you notice there are villagers, but they're small, short, stunted, old humanoids with weird, twisted limbs, and its body seems to fade and come apart at the edges. They seem to be dressed in otherwise villager gear, and they aren't making any hostile moves towards the sailors, who are not being defensive and not making any hostile moves towards them. One of the people in the tower points and says, "Aye, we have visitors." The guy with the fanciest hat below says, "What kind of visitors? You can't just say visitors." And the guy in the tower says, "They're riding a giant fucking bird, sir." And the captain turns around to look at you guys. "That is a bloody great bird. Oi! What are you guys doing here? This is a dangerous place. It's cursed, I tell you."
I guess we'll just kind of fly on down next to them.
Onun's going to shout out, "I'm Onun. On behalf of the capital, we are here to help you reclaim this relic."
Oi! Well, one of them turns to them and is like, "Which capital are they talking about?" And one says, "I think they mean the one of the giant bloody empire this island's supposed to be part of. Because it doesn't seem like they're in very much control. I mean, look at the population, the populace." Kind of motions his hand towards the twisted, faded, stunted beings. The captain turns to you and says, "Are you some kind of police, patrol, military? Because if you are, the captain would want to speak with you."
We're of the
You
court,
could say that, yeah.
and yes,
The
we
court
would like to talk
officials.
to your leader.
"Ah, well, you see our leaders in them there obsidian tower." He points towards the tower. "And we haven't heard back from her in 4 hours. The sun doesn't move, so it's very difficult to tell time here. The only reason I can is I have a watch, but pulls out some strange contraption that ticks. But it seems to not be fully working here."
Do you think she's being held against her will?
I don't think much could hold her, Captain Hilda, against her will. No, she's likely trying to find what she's been questing for.
Are these people hostile?
There's, are you pointing towards
The blackened, misty people.
Yeah.
Mysterious people.
He goes, "Well, they don't seem to be hostile. The only time, they aren't hostile now. One of our young bloods tried to come in with swagger and threatened one of them, and then they touched him and made him an old man.
Okay.
And then they started taking care of him. It was this whole thing is by far the weirdest thing that us exiles have ever had to deal with."
Exiles, you say?
"Oh, well, we're all part of crew of the Exile Triumphant. The greatest ship to ever bless these seas.
Where is that ship?
Oh, by the coast. You must have seen it on that giant bloody bird of yours.
Okay.
There's no ship that we've found that can match it. This side of the river Styx. You notice as he's talking, like, he has an accent that really is telling you his type of common by birth is not Imperial Common.
That would make sense.
Well, if you guys are fine here, I think we're gonna go talk to your leader and try and figure out what this place is all about.
Oh, can I get your name? I can at least warn Captain Hilda that you're coming so she knows you aren't necessarily hostile.
Mosgus, the Inquisitor. You probably wouldn't recognize if you were from somewhere else. If you're not
He
from
thinks
the
about
Empire.
Says, nah, don't know you, but the captain might. He pulls out a small metal box and speaks into it. And does a small chirp, and he says the message, and you just hear a chirp back, a woman's voice, very faint, saying something back to him in the common tongue, in a different common tongue. However, as you're speaking with these people, you notice that almost all of them have they're almost like metal wands or cylinders, tubes that have larger tubes and a handle to them. Each one of them has it holstered somewhere on them.
Strange folk.
One of them is sort of has their hand on it and is just it from their body language. It could be a weapon. So
It's probably magical.
Probably. So do you guys go towards the Obsidian Tower?
Yeah, if they don't stop us.
Sounds like it, yeah.
They aren't going to. So you guys go towards the Obsidian Tower and find yourselves looking at the entrance. The gate is open, and in it is a sort of gray marble surface. This thing is very out of place compared to the kind of island villager peasant life of the people beyond. The gate is open, and there's a small hallway, and then there's a closed door down that hallway. Do you guys just go in? Do you dismount and walk, or do you just fly in?
I think we'll just
The gate is
fly.
large enough. Okay. Okay, as you fly in, you reach the closed door, and you hear the hum of active magic through the door. Almost like a generator. But the door, you see, is actually slightly ajar. And as you gaze in, you see brief glimpses of a pillar and marble floor and the glow of what is unmistakably a magical circle with several humanoids figures near it. Do you go through the door?
Does anyone have any spellcraft or like a trap checking? Just to be a little more cautious.
Yeah, we got a trap checker.
We do have a trap checker.
Seems suspicious.
Roll perception check there, Alexandra.
We could also have Lalara summon a creature, shove it through, see what happens.
I can do that.
You can literally have. Oh, okay.
Traps.
The door does not appear to be trapped.
25's still good though, which is the funny part.
So the door does not appear to be trapped.
Yay.
Yay! Do you go through?
Are you gonna shove
Let's
a thing
open
through?
it.
What? Hey, first, what do you try to summon?
I don't know. Let me see what I can summon. I'm trying to remember what I summoned
actually,
the one
you
time
can
I
roll
used it.
a spellcraft check right now.
Alright.
You realize that if the dome prevented Fane from coming in, it might actually prevent you summoning things in here.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
So the spell might be useless if you try.
Okay. Do you guys still want me to summon?
It's up to you.
Since Fane couldn't come in, I'm not quite sure it would work.
But Fane is here right now.
Only because he smuggled himself in a pocket plane.
True.
What if I go into a bag of holding, summon it there,
There you go.
and then come back out?
Perfect.
All right, let's
You can try.
That's really
let's
good.
do that.
Okay, so what do you summon?
Page not found.
Oh, that's a weird monster.
Summon monster.
Deadliest.
Alright, I'll look at summon monster V.
5, 5, 5.
On second level, 3, 4, 5. I can bring in a dire lion, an eel, an elemental. I'd probably do an elemental. I think that's what I did last time. Either that or a salamander.
Okay. And what brand of elemental are you going to summon?
I don't know.
Ice
Like-
seems on trend. I'd fit your
You can do-
particular
you can do
aesthetic.
fire, you can do earth, you can do air, you can do water.
Heart.
I could do lightning. I was kind of feeling lightning. I don't know
Okay.
why. Let's do that.
Let me. Let's see. Let me see. Do I have? Can I find a good light? Oh, there. There we. And does it say its size?
Large.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Move you guys to that. So you summon a lightning elemental. Do you have it open the door and go through?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are at the lightning elementals at the very bottom. As the lightning elemental steps through, a man and woman turn around. They seem to be carrying different versions of those metal tubes, and they turn around and says, Which one of you?" The lady says, "Which one of you has brought the lightning elemental?" There, one voice from within goes, "Not I," and the other goes, "Why would I use a lightning elemental? It is not of our design." She kind of, the lady who first said that turns to you and turns to the lightning elemental and goes, "Tell your master to come in, or if you have no master, be gone."
I peek my head in, I guess.
Okay. Ah! I knew such a thing would not come in here, although I don't know exactly how you bypassed the
I have my
ritual.
ways.
Well, then come in here and speak with me in full. I do not like speaking to someone through a partially opened door. My name is Captain Hilda. Let's see. Hilda Gothel, Queen in Exile. Who might you be?
I am Lalara of the High Court of Bay.
Ah! You're an Imperial then.
Mm-hmm. And I am with my adventuring group, Six Stack.
Ah!
That works.
Adventurers! I should have known. I assume you're here for the pearl as well. She sort of looks at you with scrutinizing eyes.
Yeah. Lalara just nods.
Well then, we might have to come to some agreement before the pearl can even be extracted from the ritual behind us. She sort of moves her head towards that. There appears to be a dispute over a man's soul that is getting in the way of me getting that pearl.
Interesting.
So does the party come through?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bird pops out, pops in. Yeah.
Well, I think that I would have one of them explain, although not the third. Okay? So as you step into the room, you finally see more of what's going on. There is a bald, muscular, and tall, genderless humanoid with emerald skin and two shining white feathered wings. Roll knowledge of the planes. Actually, just roll like 2 knowledge of the planes checks. I hope some of you actually.
I have that.
I have it,
actually.
surprisingly.
I
I
have that.
should, but let me see if I do.
And you want two?
Yes.
E.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so one from Chelsea. Okay, okay, now I see two. So you guys start looking around the room, and collectively, looking at these rolls between you guys, you realize that the bald, muscular, winged creature is a planetar angel, one of the more powerful kinds of angels, with the spells of a cleric and the inherent immunities and powers of a high-ranking angel. They are usually generals in celestial armies. They're 9 feet tall and generally focus on the destruction of evil. The creature in the back, robed, you see it has actually 4 arms that split at the forearms into 8 hands, similar to Zenyatta's ult. For
Okay.
all you Overwatch people. That is a Lipkia Aeon. Aeons are strange. They are agents of kind of, if you view them as the cosmic like immune system, they are true neutral outsiders that are kind of inscrutable. You don't know if they're going to help or harm what is going to happen. Lipkias are generally known as creatures of karma, where if someone tries to attack them, they gain power in dealing damage back to that creature. And are mostly known for bearing witness to events that will have great impacts into future occasions. They are generally observers. They do not speak, but they project psychic images at people. And finally, this shrouded, demonic-looking figure and its skeletal sidekick are types of daemons. The bigger one is what would be it is a massive fiend with thick claws like a lion, broad wings of an eagle, and legs of a massive dog. Its face has a three-eyed wolf with jaws of a saber-toothed tiger, while two of its thing's eyes are merely empty holes that trickle blood. The middle eye glows a sickly yellow. A cloud of globular soul stuff cloaks this creature's hulking body, bits dripping loosely from its barbed wire covered arms. It's a daemon. It feasts on souls, and this is a particularly hideous demon that is actually known as a Holocaust demon, that if things die around it, it consumes those and kind of erases their presence from the universe. It's very hard to resurrect things that have died around this thing. Its skeletal sidekick is actually a demonic ferryman that generally pilots around the river Styx carrying passengers, usually carrying the dead to their final location in, well, one of the hells where these two things come from. At the very center of the circle is two mummified corpses, one of a man, one of a woman. And in their collective clutched hands is the pearl you seek and a soul gem that is rose-colored and, strangely enough, shaped like a heart. So just looking at this room, you imagine that the angel and the daemons might have some interest in either the pearl, which is directly damaging to them, or the soul gem of the mummified couple. I know,
And they're
a
all.
lot of info dump on you guys.
Are they frozen in time? Are they paused? Are they?
The mummified all the creatures are kind of looking at they can move, they turn to look at you, but it doesn't look like they can really move from where they're it's almost like they have small circles around them which they can't leave, so they can move within the circles, but they can't move beyond.
Huh.
Quite a puzzle.
Hilda, the female captain, and her silent, stocky dwarf who has a very long metal tube that seems to be a longer version of the devices from outside, carried by the pirates/sailors outside, turns to you and goes, "I'm being told by this angel and this daemon that this poor, unfortunate soul in the middle is trying to avoid its final rest. And unless each party is trying to vie for me to go into that circle, which they cannot, and give them the soul gem." You see, I've been told that the wife, the man is is a person named Shion Kul, a powerful caster of approximately 400 years ago, who was a tyrant on this island and waged war. He exploited planar pacts and then used the Pearl of Balance to prevent his actions from actually harming him. The woman, I'm told, is his wife, who started him on a path of redemption. And just as that Holocaust daemon was coming to collect a soul debt owed by Shion Ko, they decided to use the pearl in a last desperate effort to avoid the horrific fate of the afterlife that waited him by combining their souls in one gem. The wife belongs to the angel. The husband belongs to the demon. But because their souls are now intertwined, to give the gem to one is to give both souls to one side.
Hmm.
I
What were we
cannot
talking
remove the pearl without first removing the soul gem from the circle. And once I
Hey,
do
break a
so,
soul
the ritual holding this island in a place of timelessness will cease. And all of the unfortunate creatures outside, who were the villagers, will be finally allowed to go on to their final judgment.
If you break a soul gem, does it turn into? Did the souls go their separate ways, or do they still? Are they still
In this ritual, they have combined their souls.
awkward?
I mean, seemed like a good plan on her part, to be honest.
I mean, yeah. Well, guess it comes to a moral quandary.
They have made this
The soul
island a
is-
demi-plane and made it timeless.
The soul is only half good.
He
Still a good
was
soul.
the angel interrupts this and says he was on the path to redemption. Should he have been given some more time, his wife would have turned his soul to good. The demon goes, but his sins weigh heavily on him. He would make a great new Holocaust daemon, as was his fate when he made the pact with me. His soul is mine by the laws that govern the cosmos. The angel sort of just spits on that and says, the soul trade has no cosmic laws, only what you believe it to be, Damon.
Did you shake hands? 'Cause,
Muscus looks at her like, really?
These are
like-
literally beings of law and good and chaos and like evil, made from that literal stuff they cannot negotiate with each other. They also can't go into the circle because they're outsiders. So while you
So-
debate this, I'm going to get some more water.
What's been taking the pirate lady so long?
Maybe they're not. Maybe they just got here. Who knows? I think we actually
Yes.
need to wait for him to come back before we talk about it, to be honest.
She did just get here,
Okay.
effectively. So, but she's also trying to figure out the moral quandary.
I mean, we can all agree the bad guy doesn't get it, right? The one that
I
damns souls forever.
I don't
and
see a
whatnot.
benefit unless he offers something, and it'd have to be like something insane, and even then, probably not.
I mean, then again, the fact that neither of these cosmic forces are unhappy might be a compromise.
I mean, I'm okay with the angel getting it.
I don't know if bad things happen when bad souls go to the heavens.
Yeah, but if he was on the path of redemption, the angel believes it.
I'm pretty sure that if we give the soul gem to the angel, then in the heavens they can find a way to separate the two souls.
No, but it sounds like, I mean, unless the angel's lying. Oh, time to do a sense motive.
Oh, okay.
So Mosgus will ask the angel, what's going to happen to his soul if you get it? And then do a sense motive.
Okay. The angel goes, he will be created into a special kind of angel that seeks redemption for the sins of its past while performing the good works of the universe. He will be made into a tool as part of his redemption.
Is there a risk associated with that?
And one day he will be free to join his wife once his debt is paid.
And is he,
That doesn't sound
is he
bad.
telling the truth?
I mean,
And the angel is telling the truth. Now, what you sense is that it's the debt might actually be quite massive, and it might be a very long time in mortal understanding before his soul is actually allowed to reunite with his wife's.
I
mean,
mean,
okay.
it's not like
That's
he
fine.
is going anywhere.
Unless he dies as an angel, but you know.
I mean, just as well, if we give this soul gem to the demons, couldn't they separate them the same way the angels can?
No, but how would that be good? Why would we want another demon?
Hmm? I
That's-
mean,
That's what the demon just said. We're gonna make a cool murdering demon out of this guy. Why
I
would we want
assume-
that?
yeah, you
The-
raised some good points. I kind of assumed it was more of a punishment thing down there, but
No.
it seems more like a
Meta-wise, this isn't heaven and hell. This is demons and angels, which are not the same thing.
okay. Yeah,
They
these-
sound
I-
like the same
doesn't
thing, but
seem
they're
like-
not.
It seems like a pretty bad moral puzzle because there's only the one answer that's even remotely appealing.
Well, we got to work through it either way.
Now,
so.
as the demon looks at you guys, like pondering, he says, "If I do not receive the soul gem, I shall go outside and make sure that once this ritual fails, that none of those outside will reach any final destination. I will wipe them from the universe."
How do
It is
we?
my
Can we win this fight?
How do we know if you won't? How do we know you won't do that anyway?
It seems to think on that, and it says, I can swear an oath, I can give you a bond, I can give you the true name of my companion. As he moves his hand towards the companion, the skeleton looks at him in fear. It would allow you to control the Thana Daemon. You would have an immortal ferryman at your beck and call. The angel says, "Do not barter with the lives of your subordinates, creature. It is unseemly." And the demon just goes, "I barter with what is mine."
He's probably pretty weak if he's just a bargaining chip.
Yeah.
He might. This. Now, your knowledge, like, this thing is really quite strong.
Which, the dude or the
the
pet?
Holocaust demon.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, it's
But-
called a Holocaust demon, for fuck's sake.
I'm just calling it that because I really don't want to try to pronounce the
That's
name.
fine.
That
It's a good
but
name.
It gets its name across.
Okay, wait. And what's the third guy's deal? This one?
Oh, do you actually ask it?
Yeah.
It turns its cloaked figure head towards you, and the entire party is a wave of psychic imagery flows into you. It's not like invasive, it's not trying to control you, but it plays out before you. You see a future what you presume is a future of seeing you, your party, and Hilda both each one of you having a representative holding the pearl, and you see two versions, one where Hilda gets the pearl and one where you get the pearl. And it seems what you kind of might interpret from all this is that it wants to see where the pearl ends up. It doesn't care about the soul.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, that's nice.
It is a karma aeon trying to see the start of an event that will be momentous later on.
Okay.
So
Wait,
it
if
doesn't
we
really
hand
care.
you the pearl, if we hand you the soul gem, what happens?
Uh, it shows a vision of the gem breaking and then it using its 8 arms ripping the souls asunder and then throwing them into the cosmos to be reborn,
That doesn't sound
bypassing
so
both
bad.
heaven and hell.
Oh, it's the
doesn't
fuck
sound
you.
so bad.
It's fuck you third option.
The Aeon does not care for mortal lives.
Hey Angel, what do you think of that plan?
You would deny the woman her rest, her reward. You would deny the man his attempt at redemption.
They would get another chance.
He would not. The way that thing would reincarnate them would strip them of all that they were. It would be like it would erase all of the sins and the virtues of these people. I
Like
cannot
slave.
condone it.
They would get a fresh start.
A typical mortal perspective.
I mean, Mozgus says, personally, I think the best option is the Angel. At the moment. Because fresh start or not, I mean, I'm not going to pretend to judge a lifetime. I am not that man. I'm not the best man for
Except
that.
you kind of
Oh,
are when
really?
you.
No, but even he's like, that's a little too much.
You
Yes.
judge whether people live or die, not what happens after.
Right, that's not for me.
Yes. The-
That's for Destria and the others. And I don't think erasing them all of what they've done without having any clue of what they actually did is a wise choice or the correct choice.
That's fair.
And I don't like the demon because
Oh.
he's a demon.
We will have to fight the demon if
you will have to fight the demon if you do the other option.
How do we do that MMO thing of, hey, this guy will fucking wreck us if when we're looking at him? You get a bad feeling when you
is
look
there a
at
little
him.
skull? Is there a little skull where the level
I
icon
mean, you
should be?
could roll a sense motive.
Oh, sure. If that's the magic thing I needed to do, there it is.
That is you can use sense motive to get a hunch.
Oh, okay.
And you think that maybe if you got the Angel and Hilda and her bodyguard to help you,
God damn, really?
you could defeat it. But it would be difficult, and if any of you failed or fell to it, it would be very hard to resurrect you. Because this thing is literally made to, like, destroy soul essence.
It also might be a good idea to put one of these things to rest. Like, think of the ripple effect of killing this thing here and now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
can we take like 2 hours? Everyone leave the chamber? You guys are fine here, right?
Hilda, I know we've just met. Could you join us outside?
Tilda kind of looks at all of them, looks at you, and goes, "The Aeon showed me the same vision when I asked it why it was here. It knew you were coming. I
Oh,
will speak with you."
Okay.
You guys step out of the chamber, step out of the obsidian hall, the obsidian tower, and she looks at you and just goes, I had only been contemplating it for 5 minutes, knowing that I could not defeat that demon. But knowing that giving the soul to the angel was would be my choice, but knowing I would not survive the consequences of such. To understand why I need the pearl. I am Hilda Gothel, the Queen of Exile of the... let's see all my notes. Okay, the volcanic kingdom of Doltomo. It is a place far beyond your borders, with different magics and technologies than what you have here. I was forced from my throne by a man with outsider influence. I have been on a constructed ship, my ship, the Exile Triumphant, searching for an artifact that would help me get rid of my kingdom of the insidious outsider influence that has crept in. With this, I could free my peoples. With this, I could truly, well, live again, rather than being a queen on a strange ship in strange lands.
This relic belongs to the Empire, but we'd certainly be willing to loan it to a good cause for a time.
You got a sense about
Hilda
that?
is being very straightforward. You tell she isn't lying. She isn't telling you the exact type of outsider that has infested her kingdom, but you start noticing some of the, like, you notice there's holy symbols on her uniform, but you have no idea what the gods are. She is truly a foreigner from a foreign land. If you want to ask her more questions, this is the time.
What kind of outsider has infested your world, your kingdom?
I can only see that they possess others and give them profane gifts. I have started trying to learn more about outsiders to know the exact kind, but I know that this pearl, if it is brought in contact with someone who is possessed, will expel the possessing entity and likely destroy what is possessing them.
Huh.
If this pearl would be what I can use to save the innocents who have been unrightfully possessed, and to free those who have willingly allowed themselves to be possessed so that they might be charged in mortal realms in a mortal court. I'm trying to use this as a way of freeing my kingdom without having to kill everyone in it.
Funny. We're having a similar problem.
Yeah. Ian, do I know?
From what she's describing, it could be like demons. It could be a Quilloth. There's a lot of insidious. But it definitely sounds evil.
Yeah.
Because good outsiders don't tend to forcefully possess mortal kingdoms to subjugate them.
Yeah.
She's probably talking about the works of devils or demons. Or Quilloths, but you really hope it's not Quilloths. Quilloths
It's probably Quilloths.
are like demons before demons existed. Like the OG demons.
Oh, that's not good then.
From the
Uh-oh.
first part of creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds nasty.
So I have gathered my crew. I have found ways of fighting them, but this artifact finally is the one thing that I think holds enough power to purge my kingdom in one mighty act, rather than me having to try to restrain and exercise my kingdom individually, which I do not think I can do.
This sounds like a fine adventure.
Okay, it would be an adventure plot if you guys were on the other side of it.
Maybe we'll just stop what we're doing and help them, and then come
Maybe
back.
we'll say, fuck you, Empire.
No, we'll just juggle it. We'll just do it really quick. Just like, 1 weekend. 1 weekend of Volcano Land. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, weeks we'll spend in the Empire, and weekends we're gonna devote to this.
What, it's a custody agreement with the Pearl?
Yeah.
Okay, so I get it for every school day, but you get the weekends? Hell no!
There's probably a spell that could allow us to do
That's
that
true.
for like every other
We
day.
are making
Possible.
allies.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's good.
So
I mean-
she asks, "You have heard my plea for my gods and for my people. I am a paladin of," and she gives a name of a god. She is a paladin of Palor, a holy gun in
Oh.
their name.
Shit.
I am queen in exile, and one day I will rule again over a free and cared for people. What is your need for the pearl? I understand that it must be great for you to risk going through all this.
Well, you were talking about people being possessed, and we have multiple people who have been possessed, including, well, should we tell her about that?
Meta-wise, are you talking about Ruha? Or the Emperor?
The Emperor.
Or...
I mean, I guess the Phoenix is an outsider, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would protect
Mm.
against her, or reject it. For sure. Like, it would be super good, but actually getting the Pearl to touch him would be a...
I mean, it's got a pretty big aura, but yeah.
We just slip it into, like, some salad, and then oh no, he ate it.
Oh no, yeah, sure, yeah, the Pearl.
So, in this campaign, when I originally thought of, I came up with multiple solutions that you guys could eventually stumble across. The amulet, the Bane of Artifice, is one of them. This pearl is a different kind of solution.
So we can't eat it, is what you're telling me.
You totally can eat it, but it's a really big pearl.
So, it's a
I'm-
suppository.
Yes, you kind of have to force it down. It'll be quite uncomfortable, and it is an artifact. Eating it will not destroy it.
Okay, you don't know what a suppository is, do you?
Oh, it goes up the ass.
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
but I mean, if you could add and getting the Emperor vulnerable enough for you to shove something up his ass would actually
Look,
be.
we don't know what he's
would
into,
be
okay?
An adventure himself.
We don't know what he's into. Well, actually, we could ask Lalara what he's into.
Yeah, hey, Lalara, would this be...
Can you shove this pearl up his ass? It's for the sake of the Empire.
Maybe if I added it onto a string of beads.
Oh, God.
Hey, come on! People are into
The
that.
anal bead of balance just sounds a lot different than the
Don't-
celestial pearl.
That's a different game.
Don't shame us for what we like in the bedroom. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, but otherwise, maybe if we just, like, force him to touch it. It sounds like it might work. So, yeah,
But what are you gonna tell Hilda?
fuck it. The Emperor may have been possessed by an outsider as well.
She looks very concerned and she goes, "I feel that this is a trend. I fear this is a trend. What plans would you have to use it? Might that we champions of justice might find a way of working together rather than spilling each other's blood on this most hallowed ground."
Does the pearl break when you use it? Or to discharge energy, or can you just keep using it, is the question. I don't know how much you know about this artifact.
I would not know.
I think the
I
problem
have
is...
I've learned what I can, but I've been told that there are experts, but I have been unable to find them. One expert I have found through my divinations is something called the Baelnorn,
Oh yeah, we know her.
and the other would be the owner of this gem, the Dawncaller. But to speak with the Dawncaller is a hefty task
which
of its own.
is my bird the Dawncaller? No.
No, it's the pillar.
No. Is my bird part Dawncaller?
Yes.
Yes.
Then Mozgus points to the bird. She's part Dawncaller.
She
As
looks
am
at
I.
you.
And yeah,
Yeah, also Shakti, but
also Shakti.
She looks and says, "What? Could you please explain? I fear I have misunderstood something."
And Mozgus goes into the dragon ritual a little.
Oh, so you are family of the Dawncaller. Then you might ask her, and she might grant you a favor to use her crown of knowledge and truth, and divine the true aspects of what this pearl can do.
It's actually a pretty good idea. First, we need to get the pearl.
Yes, Oda says. But as we get the pearl, might I have a sworn oath that we will seek a diplomatic solution for where it might be? That we bring it before the Dawncaller and have her explain its limits and what it might do?
Mozgus looks to the others.
I'm in.
Sure.
I know.
Yeah. We have backup plans in case we need to let you have the pearl.
Yeah,
so.
this wasn't part of our plan right now, so
Then
Like-
why do you seek it? Do you seek to return it to its
Our-
rightful owner?
Our other plans might not work.
other plans might fail. They're also quite dangerous, not just to us, but to a lot of
My
it,
cause.
area. Gonna blow up the entire shebang, so
It's a nuke.
this thing can pop them out of people without hurting anyone. That'd be great.
She nods. She goes, "If we are going to go in to destroy that demon, me and my guard here, we are best suited for what you might call range combat, but not extreme far range combat. These our devices work best when we are within 60 feet of the enemy.
Okay.
I do not wish to speak too much more about the specifics because I realize your culture does not have these weapons, and I would rather not impose its power, good and evil, upon your society quite yet. But if one of you might take the orb and put it upon the demon's flesh, a difficult task, yes, but it might damage the creature.
That's a good point. It is an outsider. What? Could it just run away from us?
Ah, well, you see, as the ritual collapses, it might, but we have a small period of time where the ritual is still in place and it cannot leave. And if it dies while it cannot leave, it will be dead permanently.
Well, that seems like
We
a
will
really
rid
good
the
opportunity.
universe of a Holocaust demon. Likely we could get the angels to help us against the demon as well. Though I do not know if the Aeon would do anything or merely be a passive observer. We must make sure not to provoke it. A Lord of Karma is powerful indeed.
I wonder if we could get the angel to owe us something. We're doing it a big favor here.
She looks at you, kind of like she's almost insulted by you trying to get a favor from an angel.
We're dealing with the Phoenix Queen. We need
what we
favors.
I mean, we were going to petition the gods to destroy this stuff before we got the amulet, right?
Yeah, that was one option. That's still a plan, actually. That's not gone away.
No, we were going to destroy them with the amulet if we could, but
Right, but yeah,
or that was the most recent addition to our plan.
we have a lot of plans. We have keep the options open. That's all I'm saying. Just keep things going. Work the angles.
Should you help defeat this demon, I'm sure that the Planetar would be grateful and listen to reasonable requests. Her bodyguard has stayed silent all this time, just scrutinizing all of you. You're quite sure that while you guys have been doing sense motive checks, he has been doing his own. So, meta-wise, is your plan to go in, fight the Holocaust demon, and then, hopefully with the angel's help, but with all of you, aka raid boss, and
I think that's a
then
good plan, is to just
get
fight
the
a fucking
pearl.
demon.
Yep.
Alexander's ready to die for the cause.
Yeah,
We need
that
we need to
we're
do
taking
some
a rest
prep work.
right now during this conversation, I assume,
Yeah.
so I can prepare all the kit I need for raid boss time.
We need every anti-demon thing we can come up with. And protection
Yep.
from evil, all that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah, protection from
Jet,
evil's great.
what you guys would understand is that it likely has incredibly powerful spell resistance.
Yep.
It is a demon.
So
Like
you
a
might want
piercing
to try
spell.
to
I gotta
focus
focus on.
on things that either don't need spell resistance or buffs for your party or crowd control. Like a wall of ice does not care about spell resistance. Does ice spears care about spell resistance?
I know one thing that doesn't, and it's telekinetic charge.
What's that do?
I take an ally and I make them charge,
Okay.
and they just do a regular old charge.
Oh, ice spears doesn't care about spell resistance.
Oh, that's neat. I mean, who would you make charge?
Oh fuck! I could make the angel charge. Maybe no, probably not.
You
They're in
shouldn't.
barrier.
You probably shouldn't control the angel.
Yeah, like it's not like a enchantment. I make them charge. It's I literally
you
pick
literally
them up and
telekinetically pick them up and like
I pick up an ally and I throw them at the enemy.
That could be useful, but
And with some meta magic, that increases the range because it's technically a range of close.
but
you
we're
can
gonna
change that
be
to a range of long, and then double that range as well, and you can break the speed of sound.
okay. You know what? We'll talk about that later to see what we can do with that.
the last time we threw someone at something, it didn't go. Yeah, I mean, Lord did get thrown through a portal to hell, but
That was
you
pretty
got
great.
better.
I mean, Saruman also got thrown by a tree at an enemy in the Baelnorn stuff early
Yeah.
on in this campaign. It worked out fine. Well, invisible, I might add.
So
Yeah.
it is way too late for me to start this.
No, we
Oh,
can do
yes.
it in 3
So
I
I
minutes.
gotta
just want to
prepare so
make
much.
sure that you guys know exactly what you're gonna do
I
for the next time.
think if we have assuming demons cast spells or spell like abilities,
Yes,
I think
it
if we have a
is.
couple people on Timos's rage smash spells out of the air duty, we could probably do it without too much like death, too many casualties.
Okay.
Yes, I can also throw on Beacon of Luck, which is +2 bonus to all saving throws, and you get 1 reroll, which is
Okay.
going to be pretty helpful.
Why don't we compile things over the next week? Because
Yep,
it sounds like this is gonna be really hard.
it's raid boss time.
So Ian, you'll play Timos because I probably won't be here next week.
Okay.
Ah, shit, that's right.
I didn't know because I wasn't expecting you tonight, so I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't know if you guys were just going to immediately go for it, because then I would have started the raid boss time. So yeah, if you can give me a small, like what you generally roll for attacks
Yeah.
and damage, that would be great. Like it just like a little message or a text document or something that just says roll /R 1d20 plus whatever
Yeah. Sure.
for the attack, just to make it real simple and easy for me.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, stream.
Goodbye, stream.
Stream.